Good morning and welcome in, everyone. Before we get into this morning's update, I want to go over a quick overview of what is transpiring so far in the morning market. We also have a few lines of reading that we'll get to this morning. I don't usually do this in the morning update, but it's definitely something we need to talk about. So, two things I want to talk about here. XRP, so SEC and Ripple filed joint motion to pause appeals in XRP case. And then I want to talk about this bullish setup for the XRP price. Are we ready to run? Bulls eyes fresh gains amid bullish setup. So we'll read both of those. We'll look at the charts as XRP is up 2.5% today, over $2. We were pretty confident yesterday to avoid the noise. I loved the live yesterday, even though it was in a smaller screen because they put it in vertical. We still rolled with it. We had a fantastic live. And yesterday the narrative was about the boom that was about to come, not just in crypto, but this silent market in commodities. I've been talking about the mining stocks and how nobody's talking about it. I've got my list of stocks here that I own, and they've just been shooting up here the last several days. And gold's up another $53 today after being up, I believe it was like $80 or $90 yesterday, $100 plus the day before. We've got B2 gold, or Barrett gold up 3.59%. B2 gold's up another 3.9% today after 5.5 yesterday. You've got silver up 0.75%. Pan America Silver's up 4.1% in pre-market. First Majestic's up 4.3% in pre-market. And Fortuna Silver Mines is up 4.01% in pre-market. It actually flipped First Majestic in price for the first time in I don't even know how long, which tells me First Majestic's probably about to go on a bender. So yeah, it's been a spectacular time. It's a very undervalued market. Nobody talks about the gold bull market or the pending silver massive outbreak. Same thing with silver and gold mining stocks. I don't even think it's worth buying gold at this point. The gold mining stocks are priced at around $2,000, not even for $2,000 an ounce. And now we're over $3,200 an ounce. So we've got a massive opportunity there. But let's focus on cryptocurrency. We'll talk about the mining stocks and such. Maybe I'll do a special update today around 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll record a video. That's probably what I'll do. And then at around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll do our normal live. But let's get into the charts. Good morning. 8:33 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Friday, April 11th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So no matter how excited it starts on Friday morning, we're going into a weekend. We know we've had 4 straight months, yes, 16 straight weeks, where we've been red in some fashion. Only one of those weeks that it looked like we were going to put on a 15 to 20% gain over Sunday night. But by the time that Sunday candle closed at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday night, we gave it all back and then some. We ended up doing a 15% dump, including the gains we had. We dumped even further. So we're trying to avoid a 17 straight red weekend. Eventually here, we're going to have the right conditions to go bullish. Could this be the week? It's definitely setting up in a fashion where it could possibly be. But now we're going to have to look at the outliers of what's going to have to happen. For Bitcoin up 3.36% or 2.29%, Bitcoin's going to have to now roll back down in the higher time frames, not the minute. Well, the 2 hourly, we've already pushed over the 200. So we need to hold this 200 day in the 2 hour time frame right at about 82,000. And then we're going to have some crosses that we're dealing with here. We already had the golden cross here in the 30 minute. Let's see how high up this came now. The hourly, we have a golden cross. So if we have to test something, it's right around 81,000. 2 hourly, we're going to try to see, do we have to come to 81 or do we hold 82? If we hold the 200 day on the 2 hourly at 82, we can avoid going down to the golden cross retest at 81. But if we don't hold this, we'll have to come back down and show strength here. We've come through, created what looks like an inverse head and shoulder setup, which means it might warrant a push to 81. We don't know. We'll have to watch it as the morning goes on. The U.S. wakes up at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Pacific Standard Time on the West Coast at 6:30 a.m. is what we always talk about, because then you universally have both coasts up. East Coast will be at work. West Coast might already be at early shift or working for that 8 or 9 a.m. start time. So you kind of get a convergence. And then as you go into lunchtime, that's where we try to find our biggest anomaly. So right now, 2.31%. We have the golden cross on the hourly. That XRP is back testing. Looks like it's trying to pull bullish on this candle with 23 minutes left. It'd be nice to push into a new high at about 202. 2-hour time frame, still working. We've already back tested. Nice W reversal. Looks like a Gartley kind of setup. This is what we talked about last night. If this was the low we were in during the live, which we were right at this area, the technical target up would be about $2.25.8. We know we've got to push past that $2.29 to reverse course here. And then if you break that, then you start to push into a more bullish dynamic. So that's what we're trying to wait and see if sets up here this morning. A lot to watch play out. We know it gets ultra volatile when we wake up in the USA. And the importance here is we've once again broke over this critical support line that if it's support, it can bounce out. If it's resistance, it bounces down. And we've seen it in the recent past as well, because that's the mid-tier line. We already came down and satisfied this a third time in what looks like a little bit of a broadening wedge. So now if you get back up into this range, you can start breaking out and then just making a stellar move here, but you have to maintain that $2 level. It's actually $1.99 right now. But if maintained, we could go on a very volatile run here. It's just I always get anxious in the morning when the USA is waking up because we know we have this inevitable downturn usually. I'm excited about commodities though, and gold and silver. Just how much it's pushing up. It's telling us something is coming. I almost dare say this huge rise in gold now. And now silver's going to catch up. That's the thing. These silver miners are going to explode once silver starts putting on these 4, 5, 6% gains in a day, which it will. The gold silver ratio is at 102.5. That's insane. This is such a great opportunity in silver. It's unbelievable. We're going to make so much money in the silver miners and gold miners, and we already have. And nobody's going to be talking about it. It's the most silent bull market I've ever seen. And I love it. I love everybody's focus is on crypto. I've got focus on crypto, but I've got a lot of focus on mining stocks, and I've been in them for some time. So it's starting to pay huge dividends here. Let's get through our reading. So first things first, SEC Ripple filed joint motion to pause appeals in the XRP case. The SEC and Ripple have paused XRP lawsuit appeals and ongoing settlement talks and speculation that incoming SEC Chair Paul Atkins may drop the case. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission and blockchain payments firm Ripple agreed to pause their appeals in the ongoing XRP legal battle, signaling a potential move toward a final settlement. The SEC and Ripple agreed to put their appeals in abeyance, meaning the proceedings are now paused pending an anticipated settlement of the XRP. An abeyance would conserve judicial and party resources while the parties continue to pursue a negotiated resolution of this matter. The parties jointly stated in on an April 10th court filing. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse previously announced the end of the XP case on March 19th, and the new filing hints that the SEC is ready to settle once nominated and approved Chair Paul Atkins takes office, according to some community speculation. The filing cancels Ripple's April 16th brief deadline. According to Ripple's defense attorney James Phelan, the new filing supersedes the April 16th deadline for Ripple to respond to the SEC's brief filed in January. The settlement is awaiting commission approval. No brief will be filed on April 16th, Phelan wrote in the April 10th X post. Some legal observers suggested the SEC's willingness to pause proceedings indicates that the agency may be prepared to drop the case after Atkins assumes office. So James K. Phelan put, the parties have filed a joint motion to hold the appeal in abeyance based on the parties' agreement to settle. The settlement is awaiting commission approval. No brief will be filed on April 16th. We'll read through this official document in tonight's live. So we'll read the official document in tonight's live for the sake of time this morning. The SEC is ready to settle, but it is awaiting for Atkins to take helm as the new SEC chief, so he can start off with dropping the biggest case of their career and start with a huge win, one user suggested in reply to Phelan's thread. While the Senate confirmed Atkins as the new SEC chair on Wednesday, April 9th, it's unclear when he'll take office. It could be several days before Atkins is sworn into office as the new SEC chair. Former SEC chair Gary Gensler was sworn in 3 days after his confirmation in 2021, suggesting that Atkins could take office as soon as April 12th, which would be tomorrow. Cointelegraph approached the SEC for comment on when Atkins is expected to be sworn in a new SEC's chair, but had not received a response by the time of publication. And then the last thing I want to read, so the case is going to end, folks. I keep saying we have a lot of catalysts. This would be the time to take a dump, you know, how the market did. And now once it got to $1.63, our main philosophy's been it's within that bottoming zone. And with pending quantitative easing, we know they're going into rate cuts soon. They're positioning very much so for it. You know, this would be the time to supersede it from that $1.63. Even if I had to go to $1.50, that would have been the range to buy down. And it's how I approached it before these run-ups here the last several days. And I didn't have to buy XRP, but I did buy a couple different things, as some of you know. XRP price ready to run. Bull's eye. Fresh gains amid bullish setup. And we'll finish this reading as soon as we do this. So if you're looking for the lowest spot and leverage trading fees in cryptocurrency, whether you live in the USA or abroad, look at BITUNIX. They have the lowest maker-taker fee, lowest spot and leverage trading fees. There's no KYC or VPN worldwide, including the USA. So take advantage of it now before the market goes ballistic. Find a way to trade without paying all the fees of the exchange. I send a bunch of different cryptos from a bunch of different places when I want to swing trade to BITUNIX, as long as they have it. And they have HBAR, IOTA, XRP, XLM, another bunch. And I will swing trade there, even if I have a leverage trade. Like I have a little IOTA leverage trade that's up about 30-something% this morning. But I do it on BITUNIX because the fees are so cheap that I can actually swing the market. Even on a 1x spot trade, I don't have to worry about the exorbitant fees. So pay attention to BITUNIX. You can send a donation from Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. You can send a YouTube super chat or join Tom's Army if you appreciate the content. Don't forget to subscribe and be part of the 32,800 plus subscribers. And like this video. Like this video so it gets pushed around YouTube through the algorithm and the analytics. And turn that bell notification to all so you don't miss any more updates. Crypto.com has DGB, FYI. If you're looking for it, a little bit more expensive to buy, but at least it's an opportunity to buy it. So XRP price ready to run. Bull's eye. Fresh gains amid bullish setup. XRP price started a fresh increase above the $1.95 resistance. The price now consolidating and must settle above $2 for more gains. XRP price started a fresh increase above the $1.88 and $1.95 levels. The price is now trading above $1.92 in the 100-day simple moving average, which is beautiful. We need to get over the 200 though. There was a break above a short-term bearish trend line with resistance at $1.97.5 on the hourly chart of the XRP USD pair. The pair might extend gains if there is a close over the $2 resistance zone. So XRP price managed to stay above the $1.78 support zone and started a fresh increase like Bitcoin and Ethereum. The price climbed above the $1.88 and $1.95 resistance levels. A high was formed at $2.08 and the price recently started a downside correction. There was a move below $2 support zone. The price dipped below the 23.6% Fibonacci retracement level of the upward move from the $1.72 swing low to the $2.08 swing high. However, the bulls were active near the $1.92 support. The price is now trading above $1.95 in the 100 hourly simple moving average. Also looks like an inverse head and shoulders is breaking out that we've been covering for some time. However, the bulls were active at the $1.92 support. The price is now trading at $1.95 in the 100 hourly simple moving average. Recently, there was a break above a short-term bearish trend line with resistance at $1.97.5 on the hourly chart of the XRP USD pair. On the upside, the price might face resistance near the $2 level, which we're on top of at least at the moment. The first major resistance is at $2.05. The next resistance at $2.07.5. A clear move above 207.5 resistance might send the price toward the $2.12 resistance. Any more gains might send the price toward the $2.15 resistance or even the $2.20 in near term. The next major hurdle for the bulls might be $2.32. I think it's like $2.29, but I'm not going to split hairs. That's close enough. Another decline if XRP fails to clear the $2 resistance zone, it could start another decline. Initial support on the downside is near the $1.95 level. The next major support is near the $1.92 level. If there is a downside break and a close below the $1.92 level, the price might continue to decline toward the $1.90 support in the 50% Fibonacci retracement level of the upward move from the $1.72 swing low to the $2.895 swing high. The next major support sits at near the $1.85 mark. Hourly moving average convergence divergence for XRP is now gaining pace in the bullish zone. Hourly relative strength index, RSI, the RSI for XRP is now above the 50 level. Major support levels are $1.95 and $1.90. Major resistance is $2 and 207.50. I'm going to release this update. Thank you all for listening this morning. We'll have much deeper details going into this afternoon, into the live late this evening. I'll do a short around noon. And then I'll probably do something with precious metals today as we're starting to surge here. It's been a nice start to the morning. I know a lot of you are going to be happy if you're in precious metals. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below if you watch this video. The US dollar, breaking news, is under 100. We are now no longer on par at 100. We're below 100, which is kind of like the US dollar being a 1, you know, right at the 100 percentile. We're now below that, so you're not even getting 1-to-1 on your US dollar for the first time in some time. And this is going to make prices go exorbitantly higher. This is bullish for commodities. This is bullish for mining stocks. This is even bullish for crypto, because if the price of the US dollar keeps coming down, it's going to cost more to buy crypto because that dollar is becoming baseless. So everything we projected here in the past is starting to play out. I hope you've paid attention more than crypto and you've been riding alongside with me in precious metals. I had this audience buying gold back in 2022 when it made that big dump to 1600. We were buying silver at about $16, $17. These mining stocks are exploding right now, and there's no going back. If you missed it, you missed it, but it's not done yet. They're still so damn cheap. We've got a long way to go in the mining sector. Have a blessed day, everybody, and it's been an honor and a privilege.